Good morning, class, and welcome to your virtual course. My name is Dr. Araipur. You can call me Dr. A if it's easier for you. I sent you several emails slash announcements as of a couple of weeks ago. You've had a chance to explore the course. I hope you've done that. In the meantime, uh, this is the homepage of Canvas. So we get started with that. And I've put numbers here so we can follow the numbers. Number one, there is a minute, maybe a couple of minutes long video that welcomes you to the course. I'm happy to have you here. Number two, class philosophy. So quickly, this class is a community, and therefore we all have the same objective to learn. Online students often feel isolated, but it is vitally important to know you're not in this alone. I would like each of you to approach our online class with a great attitude and a willingness to help one another. In other words, assume it's a classroom and just, help one another. That'd be fantastic. Course objectives. The objectives of our pre-calculus course are about exploring the relationship between advanced algebraic topics and trigonometry. Pre-calculus is an informative introduction to calculus. What I want to tell you about this course is that those of you who are going to take more advanced courses in math, if you learn this course, you take a calculus course, for example, I guarantee you it'll be a piece of cake. It'll be very easy because it's the prior knowledge of mathematics that makes it easy. So you want to make sure you learn this course. And of course, my email address is here, or you can contact me via the inbox of Canvas. Going back to the home page of Canvas, the next one, number 3, is the announcements. Let me put this in student mode. These are the announcements that have been sent to you. If for any reason there's an announcement that you missed, you can find them here. There are several of them already sent to you. And this specific one was the recorded orientation and orientation exemption. And the new recording today will replace, let me show you, this one, which says current orientation coming up. So after number 3, I want to go down right here and show you that this Tech Connect Zoom on the left side, this is where you join the class. Going back to the homepage of Canvas, again, this is where you join the class. And the reason I mentioned that, because at the bottom of the homepage of Canvas, we have the office hours and the Zoom meeting for that. We don't want to mix them up. And for now, for this semester, it's 7 to 9 a.m. Every day. All right. Then after number 3, we're going to go to number 4. Under number 4, we have the syllabus, modules, homework, discussion forum, exams. Under the modules, basically, you find everything. And I'm going to cover it at the end. So rather than going with the syllabus, I'm going to start with the discussion forum. I want to quickly show you what you find there. Student bios, I put mine as an example. If you'd like to write yours, again, this is not graded. If you like your fellow students to get to know you, please put yours here. If you want to reply to anyone, please do so with, of course, utmost respect. Frequently asked questions. In the past, there have been questions students ask and they will repeat it. So I put them here. For example, how do I use the math editor in Canvas? Do I need a course ID for the digital platform? We call it my Open Math. The answer is no. I'll discuss that later as we go through that. Tech support for my open math, for campus, for Canvas, and how to access expired assignments. All of the above are answered. This one I want to mention, where to find the exam password. It comes up almost always, and I have no idea why, because I do mention in the beginning and on the week of the exam. You will receive an email that contains the information, including the password for the exam in advance, normally on Monday. And if you miss that for any reason, you can find it under the announcements with the same name. For example, exam one. Going back to the home page, the next one is the syllabus I want to look at. So there are two. One is the syllabus, one is the calendar. And the calendar is pretty short, just to let you know that every 3-4 weeks, roughly, we have an exam. Okay, every 3-4 weeks. Now, a couple of assignments are due immediately, and we're going to start today. One of them is the introductory assignment to My Open Math. My Open Math is the name of the digital platform. Short, I'm going to call it MOM. We use to do our assignments. And the purpose of that is to get you familiar with the digital platform. The next one is Algebra Review Pretest. The purpose of that is to let you know where you stand as far as prior knowledge of mathematics is concerned. Now let's go over the syllabus. So first, welcoming you to the course. Then, as you can see, I put them in the form of topics because on a normal basis nowadays, syllabi are getting longer and longer. So if you want to go to a specific topic, for example, what is the grading policy, you can click on it and go there. But let's take a couple of minutes to go over them. First and foremost, the section number, time, student learning outcome, course objective, topics that we cover. The text is by OpenStax and it's free, and I'll show you when we go to My Open Math where you can click on it here. As I mentioned, the online assignment is done in My Open Math. That's the digital platform, and it's free. Everything is free, okay? You don't have to pay for anything. Information about the course, the time, the meeting, and as I mentioned, the exams. I've set up the exams so you can take the exams on Saturdays, but on Monday of that week or Tuesday of that week, you receive an email regarding the exam. All the information, including a password, is there, okay? And we will review the exam. The exam review will take place during the class session. There is no proctorium, but I can't emphasize this enough. I'm going to assume you take the exam on your own, which means there is a pledge that you won't give or receive any help from any sources. It's closed book, closed notes. Okay, you may use a scientific calculator during the exam. In some cases, for example, later on, some of the stuff for the matrices, you may use a graphing calculator. Meeting and important dates, calculators. You can get, if you have a calculator, so be it. If you don't have a calculator, you can get a loaner from Math Success Center. I'll mention that as I go through Math Success Center again. And also free online calculators. I put the resources here so you don't have to pay for anything, okay? I hope everybody's clear on that. So again, you know, everything I believe should be free for the students. Tech support, Math Success Center, the information about them. Grading policy. The homework is worth 300 points. The homework meaning the introductory assignment to My Open Math, the algebra review, and the rest of them. Collectively 300 points. And generally speaking, before the due date, as long as it's done, there is no time limit. And how many times you attempt. There are 4 exams, each one is worth 100 points. The final, which is comprehensive, 300 points, and the total is 1,000. This is the point system. So if it has a total of 1,000 points, 90% and above, meaning 900 points and more, gives you an A. 80%, that means 800 to 899 gives you a B. 70%, 700 to 799 gives you a C, so on and so on. All right. You must take all exams in order to pass the course. Your lowest grade before the final may be replaced by the final exam score. The final score, if the final score is a grade of B, that means 80% or better. Homework grades are excellent, 95% or higher. And more importantly, this action will result in a higher letter grade. If we do all of them and the letter grade doesn't change, then there is no reason to do that. Also, if you fail to take an exam, you will receive 0 points for that exam and it will not be dropped or replaced. So basically, and there is no makeup exam because you have the entire week. If in case you want to take it in advance, you can do that. But if something comes up and you have proper documentation that is acceptable by the campus, you may be given a makeup exam. Course late work, basically, don't try to do that. You get behind. It's very hard to catch them. But there's a 10% deduction if you do the assignments late. Of course, that is for the homework assignments. That exception to the above, it doesn't apply. You can't have it for the exams or the first couple of assignments, mandatory assignment to my open math and algebra review, as well as module 5, the last module. There are more informations here, like cheating and plagiarism. CSULB study 36 is interesting. According to research, we need 3 times the number of units to do well. This is a 5-unit course, so we need to do 15 hours per week to learn and pass, okay? Learning is the key. Of course, if somebody doesn't show up to the meeting, and I mean the first meeting, the first session, doesn't register with the publisher immediately, it misses the first couple of assignments, any of the assignments, the first one or the second one, or the first or the second exam will be dropped from the course. More information about DSPS, financial aid, and so on. Summary steps to success. Study the PowerPoint in each module. Do your homework before the deadline under the module. Okay. Watch the videos that are embedded or so on. Study practice test and their solution. Take the exams by the due date. Office hours posted here as well as the bottom of the home page of Canvas. You can find it here. And again, more informations, basic needs, justice, scholar programs, and so on. This one, and I want you to read it on your own, but in short, etiquette for online learning. We really want to show absolute, courtesy towards one another. Okay, you want to be professional, you want to be courteous. And one thing I want to mention, and I can't emphasize this enough, when you email, please write a decent paragraph which conveys the information with proper spelling and grammar. I know this is not a English course, but nevertheless you're a college student. And if you send it from Canvas, I know which class you are from, which section. If you just send it to me without using the Canvas inbox, make sure in the subject line you put the class you're in, the section number, and so on. Okay. All right. So that was the syllabus. Going back to the homepage of Canvas. Now, before I go to modules and cover basically the course happens there, I also want to look at the left navigation bar, Math Success Center, right here, everybody. This is the tutoring center. Okay. They have all the information that you need. Check out all the services. They have tutorings, various resources, free calculator, loan program, free walk-up or drop-in tutoring available, in-person, online help. Okay, if it's outside the business hours, there is Discord server. Then they specifically talk about stats, math bootcamp, math for physics, and so forth. Other campus resources. So class, you see all the resources offered to you by Math Success Center. Okay, I hope everybody can find them easy, and hopefully if you need help, they are available for you. All right, the one that matters is the modules that has just about everything. You can click on the modules right here, or if you look at the left navigation bar, you click on the modules, the same thing. Now, at the top here, you have access to your digital platform called My Open Math. So no need for a course ID. So right here, and I'm going to go over that. You register with My Open Math. If you already have an account, username and password is used. If not, just make up an account. That's all. And you probably want to go with the easy username password, probably the same thing that you use for your email or Canvas, whatever. It's your choice. But the bottom line is make sure you remember. And that's it. When you register, then you can go to My Open Math. We come back to this. I'll explain about that again. But for now, let me close this. And so back to modules. Up here, we also have recorded lecture practice test. I'm going to go over that after I cover the first module. The first module, it says week 1, 2, 3, or exam 1 module, has the practice test, PowerPoint, and then the key to the practice test. And right here, we have two things. We have recorded lectures and recorded practice test solutions. Now, exam 2 module repeats in the same manner as exam 1, and the rest of them. What do we find at the end? I'm going to show you what you find at the end as well. This is a resource for a calculator, any sort of a calculator, more specifically a TI calculator, and online calculators. So first and foremost, I have some information here that you may be able to make it work. Sometimes it doesn't work. If it works, then you can get a calculator like this, an emulator, download it into your computer. I don't promise it works. It's not mine, but give it a shot. Also, at the bottom here, these are some of the calculators that were already mentioned in the syllabus. So the bottom line is you have access to a calculator. And then these are TI commands. Okay, so I put them here for various topics, including matrices. Okay, so I hope you look at them in case you need. Of course, as we go through, examples, I mention them, and but this is where you find the entirety. Go back to modules. Again, I repeat, at the bottom is a resource. The rest of them are modules that are repeat similar to one another. So the very first module, if I click on the first thing, what comes up? It's a practice test, everybody. Call it practice test, call it exam review, whatever that you know. I highly recommend you start reading this for a few minutes. And this is the synopsis of what is covered for the first module, the first exam. Also, I would like you to work on it on a daily basis. All you have to do 1 or 2 questions per day. It's really not a lot. Couple of questions per day. What else do you find under exam 1 module? So that was the first one. The second one are the PowerPoints. So here's chapter 1, here's chapter 2, here's another section 10.0, the circle. So if you look at this one, we have all the sections, all the PowerPoints, everybody. For example, starting with 1.1. And if you download this, put it in slide mode, you can see the PowerPoints, and we have the lecture on that step by step. So for example, when you get to an example, you don't see the solution in one shot, but rather step by step. So the first one was the practice test. The second one is the PowerPoints. What is the third one? It's the key to the practice test. So as you do your practice test, you really want to consult with the key to make sure you have it right. So under the modules, where it says week 1, 2, 3 or exam 1 module, you find practice test for the first module. You find the PowerPoint lectures for the module. And you find the key to the practice test. So when I go over the PowerPoint solution with details, my assumption is that you have looked at this, you have done a couple of questions, and you have consulted with the key. And now I go over the solution with details, step by step. So this is what you find under exam 1 module in Canvas. And that's all you need, really. But what happens here, as I mentioned, this one will take you to my open math. But what is this one? First, right here, that's my YouTube channel for the chapter section, starting with 1.1. Notice this is 1.1, the PowerPoint, and here now are the recordings of those PowerPoints from the beginning to the end. So you have all of them, everybody. Okay. Also, this one is the latest, and we will add the new one for practice test from the beginning. So remember, this is the practice test. This is the key to practice test. And this is a recorded solution step by step. Everything is there. And I mentioned that because sometimes students like to go ahead and they want to go a little bit faster. You're more than welcome to do that. Or they watch a recording, they want to pause, they go back and forth, they can do that. And of course, we will have new recordings as well. So again, as I mentioned, this one is where you register for your digital platform, My Open Math. I'm going to pause that. Now, I'm going to take you to My Open Math and show you what you find there. All right. First and foremost, if I put this on a student mode, it's slightly different, but mainly the same, okay? And I want you to notice on the left navigation bar, you can find your grade book. Again, what is this grade book? The grade for the homework assignments that you do here. Now, This assignment is due immediately, and as soon as the due date is up, I put the grade in Canvas. So is this one. Exams, after the exams are taken, for now, you don't have to worry about them, but I'm expanding them, so showing you where you find the exam. After you take, for example, exam one, then I put the exam grade in Canvas as well. But the rest of the homework at the end of the semester, because the entire set of homework is worth so many points. It's 300 points. That means you get 20 and 30 here, 50 and 250 for the rest of it. So you find those assignments first, then you find the exam. I want to explain something here. Course description is here. Now, for most sections of the text, you will find two assessments, video assignment, VA for short. These assignments contain video lessons. After each video, there is one or two questions that corresponds with examples in the video. You have practice/homework assignments, PA for short. These assessments contain additional problems beyond the type covered in the video lessons. These assessments are intended to serve the role of homework. As we scroll down, first I want you to notice a calendar. This is in MOM in my open tab. As far as the number of weeks, you can change them here. For example, you can show 2 weeks. Or now, I like to keep it at 4. The first thing I want you to notice, your couple of assignments are due immediately. Exam 1, due on Saturday the 28th. Why are all the homework due just right here together? Well, I've set up that as long as you do the homework, by then you get full credit. But it doesn't mean that you start working on it right then and there, because if you do, you will never get to finish the homework. Rather, every day you do just one section. That's all. If you do it on a daily basis, all of this homework that they may look a lot, they will be a piece of cake. One section, maximum 2 sections per day. It's very simple. Please don't wait until that day. Again, the reason I put them there, because in the past, some students would ask, okay, I'm working, I can't do it. And they had time on the weekend, so I didn't want to have to reactivate again and again. Then what do we find? First and foremost, modules 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just as we have it in Canvas. And I'm going to go over module 1. But what is module 0? Well, as the name indicates, resources. So let's see what we find. Number 1, here's the text, and it's in the form of a PDF file. Number 2, it's based on this text, which is from OpenStax. You can download a PDF or just that PDF that I'll show you, or view online. Now, it's easier if you view it online, okay? Because it's easier to navigate. You can go to some section of interest this way. So it's easier to navigate when you go online. So basically, we have the text. Okay, so that's one. How do you use a late pass calendar gradebook is explained here. Free online calculators. There are several that I showed you on the syllabus. You can find some more here. One of them is Desmo's scientific calculator, graphing calculator, and there is a video that explains how to use it. So again, you don't have to pay for anything. Everything should be free for the students, and it's available. So as you can see, module 0 is simply lots of resources. If for any reason you don't need any of them, just forget it. The course starts with module 1. Under module 1, just as you saw it in Canvas, we have chapter 1, chapter 2, 10.0. You start with chapter 1. And again, if you click on the homework here, it shows up here. But rather than doing it here, please go under module 1. And here's the reason. So you see chapter 1 gives you the learning objectives. You click on section 1.1 and you have to do the same with the next one, 1.2, 1.3, and so on. Why do I want you to go there? Because first you see some video lessons. In the past, students have gone through that and a lot of them liked it and they thought that was good enough for them and they did that. After video lesson, you have a video assignment, which is simply some videos with a couple of questions. That's all. Okay. You do them, it doesn't take long. Okay, everybody. After the video assignment, we have the practice assignment. And here's what I want you to notice. A lot of homework assignments here, you do have help. For example, here it says question help video. Most of them do, some may not. But again, notice question help. There are a couple of videos. So my point being, it should be very easy to nail the homework. And by the way, as far as the time is concerned, it's really not timed as long as it's done before the due date, okay? And if you happen to come across a question, you don't get it right, and the help either is not available or it doesn't help you, you can ask for a new question. I'm going to show you for a moment. Again, unlike exams that are timed and there's only one attempt. For example, if we go to the very first assignment, it just wants to help you get ready to do your assignments. It'll teach you how to work with my open math. That's the purpose of this. And so having said that, it says, okay, enter this number, 58.1458. Notice the moment I hit the box, then I get some math. I get a math editor that has, I don't know, fractions, square roots, so on and so forth, okay? The second one, we are going to write the same number, but this time we want to go with rounding, 58.1, and rounding to the nearest hundreds. 4 next to it is 5, goes up to 5, okay? So I'm assuming everybody knows round. Can I divide by 0? The answer is no. It's undefined. They don't have undefined. You go with DNE. Does not exist. You finish that. Now pay attention to this. At this point, you must submit question. The moment you submit that, you get your grade for this question. And this will be recorded. And as long as you continue and you get more points, that will be recorded also. But if for some reason you don't continue, this will be your grade. If I go to the second one, it says round, convert 1/3 to decimal, enter 4 or more decimals. As you know, 1/3 is 0.3 bar. On purpose, I'm not going to listen and I'm going to do just 1 decimal. Obviously, it's wrong because they asked for 4. Do I move on? No. Get a similar question. I'm not going to move on until I get this right. And that's the beauty of the homework here. So get a similar, it gives me the same one. 0 point. Now, this time I put many 3s because I want to get it right. Notice, check mark. I got it right. Now, I can continue, but let's say something comes up. If I click done here, the first couple of questions have a check mark. That means I have received my grade already for these assignments up to here. And if I don't come back, this will be my final grade for this assignment. If I don't come back to resume before it expires. So if I come back before it expires, I can just add. Right now, I have 10% of that. I can get more questions done. Something comes up, I simply exit. So I hope everybody is clear as to what needs to be done. So let's quickly recap what we have done. Number one, when we go to homepage of Canvas, the first one was welcoming you to the course. The second one was the philosophy. The third one says that the announcements. Under the announcements, Tech Connect Zoom. This is where you attend the class, whereas the bottom one is the office hours. On the left navigation bar, a couple of things I want to look at. One of them is a discussion forum. None of them are graded. Student bias, frequently asked questions. Another one is the Math Success Center. If you need help, if you want to go get a calculator from the Math Success Center, will do the job. Going back to the home page, just about everything happens under the modules. At the very bottom is the information resources about the TI calculator and other online calculators. At the very top, we have two things, the recorded lectures and practice tests. So you have the practice test, you have the lectures. This one, the very top one, this is the one that will let you register with the digital platform called My Open Math. Here's exam one module. You have the practice test, you have the PowerPoints, and you have the key to the practice test. So here's the practice test. Here's the PowerPoints. Here's the key to practice test. Here's the PowerPoint recordings and practice test recording. So going back to the homepage of Canvas, just about everything has been explained. When you go to My Open Math, you start with the first couple of assignments. You scroll down to module 0 is a bunch of resources, and your work starts with module 1, section 1.1. I hope everybody's okay with that. I wish you all best of luck and happy studying, everybody.